about human connection.
I'm talking about human what?
Connection. Cool. Got it.
Yeah. So when two human beings connect, when you and I connect, you're a dot, I'm a dot. When we connect, there's a line connecting between us. It may be vibrating, it may be going up and down, but on the plane, I'm at 90 degrees with you and you're at 90 degrees with me. And that is what creates that relationship. It's the square. It's
That's
the
right.
truth. If we're going back to Masonic metaphor, the square is a symbol of the truth. I never thought of that before. Why is the square? I raise my hand to a square, and that symbolizes I'm willing to tell the truth. Isn't that interesting?
Interesting.
And the hand of the square is 90 degrees, and that's how we maintain a relationship. And if you're not, and by being 90 degrees on a plane with you, and you 90 degrees on a plane with me, we become parallel.
Right.
And that's how I see you. And if you suddenly, we don't be at 90 degrees, or let's say you're not at 90 degrees, let's say you go to 60 degrees, so you're 60 degrees on top, 30 degrees on the bottom, there's still 90 degrees there. But when I see you, I reflect off, so I'm not really seeing you.
Right. That makes sense to me, essentially. It's that's how we miss each other.
Yeah, we'll miss each other. And so, or if I am at 60 degrees to you, you can be armed to the square straight up, absolutely true. But if I'm not at 90 degrees of you, I'm not looking at you, I'm looking over your head. Or if I'm at 30 degrees, I'm looking down at your feet.
You're looking down at me.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So there's the 90 degree thing. So then the next element is, and this was and I don't think I'm going to try to explain everything of this because I started drawing this out and it just started blowing my mind. But you know how, if we started structuring dimensionality right now, we start with a dot, which is 0 dimension, which is all dimension. Because as soon as I put on a plane, it becomes an omnidirectional radiation of energy. And it's visible from all directions. So it's all energy going out and all energy going in, and it becomes a dot because it's a focal point.
Okay.
And now I'm a dot, focal point, vector out, vector in, a torus actually, going in and out at the same time. In fact, I'm having precessional relationship with myself.
Interesting.
I've got torque, reverse torque, spin, reverse spin. We can go down right down through that little stupid acronym I created, mnemonic peg, right? Soviet,
that's right.
Soviet P, right?
Soviet P, yes, that's right.
Yeah, S spin, O orbit, V just indicates the vectors that are having relations with themselves. I in and out.
That's right. I always forget in and out.
Yeah, and then E, expansion, contraction, or expansion, inspansion.
That's right. And then
T,
torque.
Torque and reverse torque.
Yeah, and reverse torque. And then
Soviet P, so now P.
Well, that's precession. I mean precession. And then there what was the other one we came up with? Equilibrium.
Yeah, because the Soviet soldier is peeing on a,
that's what I was trying to think of,
on a
like
fulcrum,
right?
The letter A for alignment, and then the fulcrum goes across the letter A, and E is on one side, and E is on the other side. The guy's balancing the E's. What are the two E's?
Equilibrium and equanimity.
Yeah.
And so yeah. So then there's what is it? What's the last part of that?
I think that's it, isn't it? That creates alignment.
That's right, alignment. That's what I forgot.
There's the A on the fulcrum.
The A under. That's what I forgot. I forgot the A underneath it. That's all.
Okay, good. So
interesting.
And I'm having a sense of awareness about this dot, this exploding vectors out and in simultaneously. It's actually a torus. I'm wondering if I just went away for a minute. Let me see if I screenshot. I got it on my computer. I almost thought of coming on my computer. How much time do you got? you have a thing tonight, an event tonight, right? At 7?
No, I just have some work I got to get done because I just felt I got to tell you, I must really be tired. I
Yeah.
came home from taking somebody to the store,
Yeah.
and I collapsed, and
Cool.
I slept for 2.5 hours.
Beautiful.
That was the first time I've done that. Like, I mean, I was really out. I mean,
Cool.
yeah, I felt like I don't know what's up with me. I mean, I'm just really tired all the time, a lot. I'm not sleeping all that well, that's for sure. But anyway,
All I can
I
tell
got
you
some
there,
I
my
got some
friend.
time. I'm gonna work on that meetup and just I think I'm gonna go line by line. I don't know.
Good.
We'll see.
It's the way to do it. Trust
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
You've thought more about it than most people have already.
That's true. That's true. But remember, I'm looking to get the answers out of them because I'm looking to get enlightenment out of them.
You're
But
not. You're
we'll
going to
see.
get opinions. You're going to get opinions. And that's interesting because if you ask me for my opinion, if I'm not perpendicular with myself, if I'm not at 90 degrees with myself,
You're
I
not
don't
going to
know.
get no, you won't even. In fact, you will get something that is nonsensical
Yeah.
that the world can't make anything out of.
So coming back to, if you're okay, coming back to these little epiphanies I've been having.
Cool.
So the dot is an explosion of vectors out and in simultaneously. In and out simultaneously. That's easy a dot radiates. So it's easy to see all vectors radiating out in all directions, omnidirectionally, Bucky's words. But
Right.
if it's going out, it's also going in.
Right.
So it's toral. Most people don't see that. They see they see the sun radiating out, but there's as much going into the sun as there is coming out of the sun somehow. Because the sun is a torus, just like the earth is a torus. The design of the sun is toral, and the matter around the sun manifests as a sun. The design of the earth is toral, and the matter of the earth manifests as a globe. The design of a human being is toral, and it manifests as a human body based on its genetic code.
Based on its genetic code.
It's molecular code.
Okay.
So
Molecular. Okay.
Subgenetic is molecular.
Okay.
Sub DNA is genes. Subgenes is molecules, right? Molecular. And submolecular is quantum vibration. Right now, as good as any is string theory, although people are having trouble with string theory. But now we're coming out. Go ahead.
I thought string theory like basically wasn't the answer they thought it was, but
yeah. And especially if you talk to Roger Penrose lately.
That's who.
I don't know that I don't know what he thinks about string theory, because he now says that there is no black hole in the traditional sense of a dense collapse of matter and then an expansion with a big bang. He's now saying that there needs to be no collapse. He's saying it just continues to expand, moving faster and faster, and as it hits the speed of light, it becomes the event horizon all by itself.
Wow.
The shape is no longer needs to be a black hole, because matter is moving at the speed of light. It loses its physical manifestation and becomes whatever it is other than that, and manifests again.
Wow.
It goes the speed of light, and then it becomes its own black hole and slows down again, and then starts to expand again. That's the way I understand Roger Penrose. So it's, in the past, I've said it's like the Hindu concept of the lotus opening the lotus opens every 10,000 years and a new universe is created, right? Isn't it every 10,000 years? And the Vishnu opens.
That I'm not sure of, actually.
Yeah, there's somebody's on a lotus, and sleeping on a lotus, and then Vishnu opens his eyes. And the
Oh,
world
that
gets-
part I'm sure of, but the 10,000 years on,
Oh,
I'm not.
well, I think that's a metaphor anyway. You know, like this, like the Tao is the 10,000 things. Right?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's
Yes.
just like that's more than we can count, so we're going to go for it. Right?
That's funny. Yeah, that's good.
So
That's true.
we'll say 10,000 because hell, what's 10,000 of anything, right?
That's right.
Back in the day when the smallest thing was a rock, you know, maybe it was a grain of sand, but nobody's going to count the grains of sand in the beach. Anyway, so you
Hey.
have the dot. What?
Can I ask one quick question before we go on?
Yeah.
What was this conclusion that for the Pfizer CEO?
I don't believe there was a conclusion that
Like
Pfizer
that he said money perverts everything. And what did the CEO?
Lex said that about his environment at MIT.
Right. Okay.
But the CEO was like a rock. It didn't even faze him. And he said, well, we do everything we can. Like he talked about, Joe Rogan accused him of Pfizer of advertising and distorting reality because of its strong advertising. And the CEO says, well, we vet all of our advertising. We don't sponsor programs. We don't do anything at all to influence the world we live in. We advertise to help customers. And that's where he was. That's where he lived. You know, his whole purpose was helping people.
That's all right. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's.
I don't think we're going to get past it because that's what the CEO of Pfizer should do, is help people.
Right.
And he really thinks he is. And he even brought up the polio thing. So I don't know. It's only an hour long, so you could just drop that Lex Friedman, CEO of Pfizer thing in there. You can see. So I want to come back to my dots, if you're okay. I don't know.
So no, please do.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
because I started doing. No, I don't be sorry. I'm going to take advantage of this time with you. And
Cool.
if you have something to talk about, interrupt me and let's talk about yourself. But until
I'm good.
all right, good. So now we have the dot as the vector, as a vertex of energy flowing in and out in precessional manner. Then we have two dots that are connecting on a plane, and the connection is at 90 degrees. So there we come parallel lines. And now we've created a two-dimensional reality. Oh, I guess we created a one-dimensional reality because we connected. Right? Now, how do we connect? Now, how do you go from two dots in a line on a one-dimensional reality? How do we create a two-dimensional universe? Well, we take another line and do it at 90 degrees to the line we already have.
Right.
So we basically double it. We take our line and go.
And then another 90 degrees is three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional, and then another 90 degrees is four-dimensional.
I'm trying to see that though. Wow.
Well, you can't see that. I can't see it. The human brain can't see it.
Yeah.
We can see a two-dimensional reality at 90 degrees from a one-dimensional plane. We can see a three-dimensional reality at 90 degrees to a two-dimensional plane, but the brain can't conceive a four-dimensional reality. But we can perceive a tetrahedron. And what is the angle expressed in a tetrahedron?
The angle?
Yeah, the angle in the tetrahedron.
90.
It's made out of, it's made out of equilateral triangle.
Oh, I thought if you're going right. Oh, it's four-dimensional. It's if a tetrahedron would be.
Well, what I'm pointing out is that as soon as I try to manifest a four-dimensional reality in a 3D universe, I can't be at 90 degrees. I cannot be in a fourth 90 degrees. I will perceive it as a 60-degree angle, and thus the tetrahedron.
Let me write that down.
Well, I don't know if it's worth writing down. I've been thinking about drawing a chart. You can write it down. Let me share with you the other vision.
Trying to draw it too, though.
Okay, good. So now I'm thinking of murmuration, right? And I'm
Right.
thinking of the 7 directions, right? Because I have the dot and it's experiencing otherness omnidirectionally, right?
Right.
And so I'm looking at the birds around me, in front of me, behind me, atop of me, left of me, right of me, below me. And those 6 directions, when they start to move, I start to move with them relative to their
2,
behavior,
3. Right.
right?
Right.
And in murmuration, those 6 degrees, those 6 directions manifest as 3 planes, a 3D universe, as they intersect with each other at 90 degrees, right? So here I am as the bird in the middle. I got a plane going through me from up and down, right?
Right.
And then I got a plane going through me from backwards to forward. There's 90 degrees.
Right.
Then I got another plane going through me from port to starboard. There's another 90 degrees.
Right.
3 planes manifesting 90 degrees relationship with themselves. The 4th dimension would be 90 degrees to all of those. And the brain can't see that. So I just got the epiphany. That's why the tetrahedron manifests at 60 degrees. Because when I take a 90-degree reality and a 4-dimensional reality, and I want to manifest it in 3D space, it becomes 60 degrees. It's no longer 90 degrees. So take the double tetrahedron,
Right.
stack it on top of each other, get it to spin, and what's inside of it? The octahedron.
Right.
And there's the up and down, left and right, backwards and forwards. There's the 7 directions. It exists, the 3D reality exists in a double tetrahedron, which is a 4-dimensional vibrational field that manifests in a 3D world as 60-degree relationships. And they're not 60 degrees, they're 90 degrees, but they look like they're 60 degrees.
Interesting.
Because the tetrahedron is actually a 4-dimensional entity that's compressed into 3D space, and so it's at 60 degrees from itself instead of 90 degrees. That was the vision I had. And of course, what is the 4th dimension? The 4th dimension is inside of and outside of a 3D space. The 4th dimension is the space in which a 3D reality exists. Just like if I take energy and I experience the dot manifests in a field of energy all around it. Now, I want to perceive it in a 3D cube, but actually it could be in an 11D cube.
Right.
But I'm only can perceive it in a 3D cube because why? Because my brain is stuck in 3D. And if I could perceive a tetrahedron in 4D space, it would not be 60 degrees. It would be 90 degrees with itself. Trouble is, I can't perceive that. I can't even comprehend such a thing. But what I do know is that the tetrahedron manifests with equilateral triangles, 3 equilateral triangles manifesting, 4 equilateral triangles manifesting in relationship with each other, but they manifest in 60 degrees. And I just hit another epiphany. What?
Say that again. 4
there
equilateral.
Are 4 equilateral triangles, which actually manifest as a 4-dimensional reality. But in order for my brain to see a 4-dimensional reality, I take those 4 planes and I fold them together, and they look like they're at 60 degrees in a 3D world.
Interesting.
That was the epiphany I had. Does that make any freaking sense?
It does. I mean, I'm starting to see, I'm having to draw this out a little bit.
Yeah, well, and you're gonna have to draw it 4 or 5 different ways, because the only, just like Carl Sagan pointed out when he explained the tesseract, we cannot imagine a tesseract, but we can imagine the shadow of a tesseract, right? And then when you put a tesseract in a computer, then you can start spinning it on all 4 of its axes, and you get the strangest configurations of ever, of things twisting around itself and twisting inside of itself. And we can't imagine that with our 3D brains, but we can see a shadow of it. I think a tetrahedron is a shadow of a four-dimensional reality. And those four planes, those four faces, those four dots
Yeah.
of a tetrahedron are actually four-dimensional reality compressed into a 3D space, just so we can comprehend it.
That's interesting.
And now I'm saying to myself, well, what difference does it make? I don't think it makes any difference at all. But it helps my brain see another way
No,
to look
it
at
makes
a
it.
four-dimensional reality. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it makes a difference. It makes a difference because
Okay.
you could see what you're not seeing.
Right.
That's the important part. This is interesting. And
Let
you
me
had this
say one more.
you had this
What?
and you had this epiphany just now?
No, I had the 4D epiphany the other day. I had it when I was talking to Raffers and Laurent, waiting for Manu to come on the call on Wednesday. He didn't come on. And I was sitting there wondering if I should explain to them about the epiphany that I had, and I'd drawn out another thing. And I should probably turn that on just to show you what I started. I think I will. And Manu never came on the call.
Is he okay?
And yeah, he was okay. He just took it literally that we weren't having any more Bucky calls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because not until January.
Oh, okay. That had me like freaking out for a minute.
Yeah. Well, I think Kelly needs a break, and I actually think that Kelly would rather not be on the Bucky calls, except he's terrified, mortified of what we're going to do with him. I think the only thing that kept him on the calls the last 2 weeks was that he was terrified of where we were going to go with it. Because when he did come on the call, it just happened to be a week when we didn't do very much Bucky reading, when we started talking about two-ness and four-ness and comparing everybody's ideas.
Yes.
And there wasn't much Bucky. And so he
Right.
got on the call the next Wednesday and said, hey, I think it's better if we go back to Bucky, which is what I wanted to do anyway, because I felt like I didn't agree with much of what Manu was saying. Okay, I'm going to send you a link that I just got, that I just sent to myself on Roger Penrose explaining why the universe, something about this idea of a conceptual universe. What?
When will we restart the Bucky calls, do you think?
We're going to start them definitely. We have a date. It's the second Saturday in January.
Let me see what that is.
I think it's the 12th or something like that.
There's the 8th or the 15th.
Okay, I'm going to turn this over to
Your computer.
I'm going to reclaim the host there, and then I'm going to drop out here. Whoops. Okay, now I've done that. I want to show you.
Oh, you're much clearer now.
I'm much clearer. Yeah, well, I got a high definition piece of shit in front of me here. Okay, let me think here. I'm going to share.
I meant your voice too, though.
Oh, even my voice is clear, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't have to go through. I'm going to share computer sound just in case, so I don't have to go looking for it. But let me see. Okay, look at this. This is a really cool graphic. This is a dot. You see all the vectors going out?
Yes.
And for every vector going out, there's a vector going in.
Interesting.
Because it's going in and out at the same time. It's a torus. We don't see the dot because the dot is a figment of our imagination. It's actually a radius of energy. This is beingness. This is, and I'm having an epiphany here now. This is why chakras are so important.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Because each one of these are chakras.
Oh.
I mean, each chakra in the human body manifests like this. So let me see if I can get to.
I don't even know what this one is. Bucky vectors. Okay, this is an assignment of building this weird, how to build this. And I don't know why that's like
Oh, I
that.
remember that.
Yeah. And so I'll just save that, get rid of it. Oh, wait a minute. Since I'm in Word, I can go get recent.
You build some of these graphics out in Word.
I build all of them in Word.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That is
Every once
crazy.
in a while, I go to Paint and do a little something, but generally I do them out in Word. Okay, here it is. Tetrahedron, 6 degrees of freedom. Okay, so here is, you saw this. You saw me manifest this, right?
Yes.
And formations of systems and structures. So, and then this is the creation story that I was telling you about. And somehow I'm going to tie the creation to this too. I added this graphic on it right here. But this is the tetrahedron. And what I'm not showing here, I'm showing how the tetrahedron relates. And what I want you to see here is to see these three edges.
Yes.
Those three edges are actually planes that go through that vertex. So they look like this.
Okay.
And they're actually at 90 degrees from each other, but they don't look like they're 90 degrees from each other.
6 degrees or edges, 6 edges or degrees of freedom. Interesting.
Each edge in the tetrahedron is a degree of freedom, and it manifests, it connects to the other degree, to the other point, the other focal point. If that makes any sense. So they're manifesting in a tetrahedron here because they're connected in this 4-dimensional reality manifesting in 3 dimensions.
Right.
Because the only way I can see 4 dimensions manifest in 3 dimensions is to connect them up at 60 degrees. And the reason why in a 3D universe, those dimensions are at 60 degrees. In a 4D universe, they're at 90 degrees. The trouble is my brain can't comprehend that.
Right.
So, and when I take these 2 tetrahedrons, stack them on top of each other and let them do their thing because they're spinning processionally in relationship to themselves, in a relationship to each other, then implied in them is that octahedron. And the octahedron becomes the perfect space for murmuration. It becomes the perfect space for experiencing myself with others. Okay, so
Let me see that.
this is so weird because
I'm taking, let me see. 4 points, 4 faces, 4 windows, 6 edges, 6 bound.
you took a picture of it, you're kind of looking at it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm calling this one 6 degrees of freedom, constructing and deconstructing the tetrahedron in up to 4 dimensions. So it starts with a dot. But actually, that dot see here. Actually, this is the manifestation of energy of beingness. This is awareness right here. But for every arrow going out, it has to have an arrow going in.
Right.
It's vector in and out. It's vector expansion and inspansion expansion. It's vector torque and reverse torque. It's vector spin and reverse spin. It's a vector orbit and reverse orbit. That's what all these vectors represent, but we're only showing an out, right?
Right.
And in actuality, then, in order to perceive this, my little brain needs to see that dot inside there, because my brain goes, well, where the hell is the focal point of all this energy? The focal point is that dot. And so rather than perceive this energy in helter-skelter fashion, that's how I perceive beingness. That's how I perceive awareness, as a dot.
Interesting.
And I could look at yin yang, but in order to see yin yang, I have to look at dots.
That's right. That's how now I'm seeing that. I remember that. That's interesting, actually. That's that one graphic you sent me with the arrows coming out of the yin yang symbol. How these two separate dots.
Let me see here, because yin yang. Okay, that was this guy over here.
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So in order to, this is important. In order to perceive yin yang, I've got to see dots.
Right.
Because I cannot see energy, precessional energy, moving in 6 different directions simultaneously. I can't see that. My brain can't understand that. My brain wants to see dots. So I have a big dot, and inside the big dot, I put 2 little dots. Now I can see yin yang. Now I can see the in and the out.
Right.
Now I begin to see at least one aspect of 6 basic movements in precession. And each of those dots then manifest as a point in a tetrahedron, and the edge here manifests as a straight edge right there.
Interesting. Now I'm starting to see what you were saying before.
Yeah, well, here's the double tetrahedron.
Right.
Whoops. And there's the implied octahedron inside of it. See that implied octahedron?
Yes.
And there's an implied octahedron in the single tetrahedron too, but it's laying down on its side. Remember, the octahedron in the double tetrahedron is vertical, but the octahedron in the single tetrahedron is laying on its side.
That's right. Now I'm starting to see.
I don't think this has parts.
It doesn't. I could tell.
Yeah. So
how did you get it in there to begin with, unless you can separate the parts?
I build it on a worksheet. It's in this worksheet right here.
Oh, and you just put it there?
Yeah, I put it there. Here comes the worksheet. See that worksheet? And I think we'll find it in here, unless I
Did you build all of those?
Yes. Well, no,
scratch?
I stole this from the web.
Oh, okay.
And this one I stole from the web, and then I stuck a cube. I reinforced a cube in there.
With lines, right?
Right. I drew extra lines to reinforce the cube. And on this one, I made the lines gold so that you could see it. I made them gold inside there. And if we look towards the end of this worksheet, I think you'll see where I put the gold lines in there. I don't think this one has the gold lines in it. Well, it's easy enough to do the gold lines. I think I maybe put the gold lines in the other worksheet because I wanted to see it. But it's simply a matter of coming over here and grabbing a line, connecting this dot to this dot, and then making it gold. Bam. And then making it fat.
Oh, yeah.
And then all I have to do is duplicate the lines.
Are these all going to be in your book?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm right now working on my outline in my book. I don't want to get lost. Do you know what I'm saying there?
Right.
I don't want to get so far out in the woods that I undermine what extreme mindfulness is all about.
What you're trying to say. Yeah.
Exactly. And so, and then this one would become a dotted line. So that's, I should do the smaller one. There we go. I don't know if you can see that.
I can. Yeah, I can see that.
And then this is is this the worksheet? Yeah, this is the worksheet. So I must have built this somewhere else. So I have an octahedron over here. I'll go find it. Oh, that's interesting. It's on here. I thought I had just a simple octahedron roaming around out here. Octa. I might have spelled it wrong, but there's an octahedron there. The trouble is, I tried to build an octahedron on its side inside this tetrahedron, and I didn't find it. So let me see here. If I click in here and I make this and then I make it smaller. Trouble is, I'm not going to get it to lay down over here because it has to lay down. I got to make it clear. I found some of these tools out here that Microsoft has been hiding from the universe because they have copyright infringement issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now, I don't know how I get this to lay down in here, but I think it's something like this.
Interesting.
It lays down in there kind of like that.
So
What?
it's interesting.
Yeah, that's not exactly right. In fact, what I may do here, since you're with me, I don't want to waste either of our times, but let me go out here into Googly, and let me ask for a tetrahedron with octahedron inside. Images. So this is a cube with a tetrahedron with an octahedron. So that would be, that's almost it. If I didn't have the cube on there, I'd be fine. Here it is right here. There's a tetrahedron with the octahedron laying on its side.
Okay.
Here it is right here. This is a good one.
Right. That's actually much more clear.
Yeah, because this one you can't see the back side of it. But actually, I'm tempted to.
In a way, that the one in the corners shows that pretty well too.
Which corner? The left side or the
left side? The one we've looked at in the past, where it's exploding.
Yeah, that's right. Now that you mentioned that, I have others that are exploding, and it uses that configuration.
And that makes a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah, if I publish my book, I've got to get my artist to render this stuff so that I don't get anybody, complaining
about copyright infringement.
Yeah. Damn, I cannot seem to.
Do you know somebody that can do this?
Oh yeah. Have you seen you've seen my octahedron inside the human being inside the octahedron, haven't you?
Yes. Yes.
I got where the gold octahedron spins around in a circle.
Where the gold octahedron, I don't recall it off the top of my head now that you said that it was gold, but
Okay, yeah, I have a gold octahedron spinning around. I like this guy here because it looks a lot like this guy here. And you know, I don't know how to do this. I think what I'll do is I'll just put this little guy right here just to remind myself. Then let me find my octahedron here.
mhm.
There's the semi-exploded. Here's the exploded guy. Yeah, see, I already got these here. There's the octahedron inside the tetrahedron on its side.
Right.
I wish I could set in front as a default. I just don't know how to do it. And I end up spending a lot of time. So if I put this over here, and if I'm lucky, I can make that yellow shit around there go away. Let's see. Yeah, that's a pretty primitive tool.
Yeah, this is pretty. That's why I'm amazed at what you can do with it.
Yeah, I've just learned to press it. So let me find my octahedron.
How's everything with you and Julie? Good.
I tell you what, man, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I mean, just between you and me and the wall, she has a fat butt and she's so cute. And she's so obsessive compulsive because she's so brilliant and she's had this brain surgery and she's had to be meticulously compulsive in order to maintain any degree of normalcy.
Wow.
And so what I've noticed as I've been with her, how touchy she can be. And what's interesting is I'm equally touchy. Like if I do something and it turns her off, I go away. I'm not good at staying in there and say, okay, what did I do? Let's
Trying
talk
to figure
about
it
it.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. I will stay there and say, what did I do? But even when she talks to me about it, I can't bring myself back. And between you and me and the wall, I think this goes back to when I had sex with my mother. I told you about having sex with my mother, right? Oh,
You
please tell
mentioned.
me. Yeah, good. Phew. I mean, I would hate to drop that bomb on you all of a sudden. So,
Well, you kind of well, yeah. Anyway, good. I remember something like that, but not the whole thing.
well, when I was 11 years old, I had a sexual experience with my mom.
Oh, okay.
And it was only one time, but there was something happened when I was mortified and I just went away. And so I thought I had, oh, here it is right here. I think I kept my octahedron out here on this drive. I'm so grateful to be able to talk to you right now.
I'm grateful to talk to you anytime, Steve.
Good. I mean, this is so exciting for me because I had actually given up on this whole prospect because I thought, you know, it's just
Why?
too damn complicated to try and explain what I just explained to you. I mean, who's going to get that? And I'm so much better at explaining things to other people than I am explaining things to myself. I can imagine you being there, but I'm not motivated. And when you're there with me, then somehow I'm motivated. Make sense? And I see this light is behind me. That's got to be crazy. So let me bring this out over here. There we go. That's better, huh? At least I'm.
Wow.
What?
I was just looking at some of those images.
Yeah.
A couple of them I don't remember.
And we saw this image on the internet. I stole it from the internet a long time ago. This guy right here. Oh, and here's my, is that an MP3 or is that that's just a PNG of my thing.
So what are you afraid of with this book? Like what that nobody
I'm-
will.
I'm afraid of falling down a rabbit hole, and I would like this book to be a smash hit. And I'm going through now. What is the purpose of this book? All right. Are you hip on? Oh, are you not? Are you
Wow.
seeing that? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's incredible.
Watch this.
I did not see this. I did not see this. I would remember this.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
See that energy, that octahedral energy manifests as the auras. And the
Wow.
octahedral energy has 6 degrees of freedom. And it goes back to the murmuration thing. You want to see it one more time?
Yeah.
I think I can send it to you. I don't think it's all that big. I spent several $1,000s of money on these graphics for my own thing, and you've stepped in and made some really valuable contributions. Thank you so very much.
No problem. I mean, it's.
Well, I've got to figure out a business plan for 2021 here.
Yeah, I have to put one together for a nonprofit that I'm working with.
Yeah. So that's the logo with the octahedron. And there we go. And let me see. I was going to show you. What else was I going to show you? I don't think there is anything else to show you with the octahedron.
That's pretty cool.
I don't think
Who-
I showed what?
Who created that?
I designed it and sat down with a graphics artist who could do all that shit. And I said, no, move it over here, move it over there. Let's make it an octahedron. Let's put some Star Wars stars behind it. I designed it. And I had a graphic artist guy follow my instructions. So there's your octahedron. Oh, I know. I'm going to do another one. I'm going to call it rainbow. And I don't know if you've seen this, but I want to put that octahedron in the book, but I don't have a place for the octahedron as much as I do have a place for this rainbow thing. Oh, look at this guy. I mean, while we're waiting, I'll show you this guy. Where'd he go? Okay, so this is the closest thing to a procession that I think I've seen. And it's just taking a while to load up. So while it's taking a while to load up, let me find what I need to find is my is that the whole thing? Octahedron, no, rainbow. I think this is what I just showed you. And yeah, that's what I'm running right now. And it isn't rainbow, it's ribbon. Let me see, what the hell is it called? It's called Ripple. It's called Ripple Man.
Do you think you'll be coming back out here in January?
February.
February.
You know, she's just so damn cute. And, you know, she wants to love me the way I want to be loved. She wants to be loved the way I want to love her. And she's a perfect mirror for me in terms of how stuck I am. And okay, here we go. Here's the Ripple Man. The animated GIF that I have is not loading up like it should. So we'll go to this other guy. And unfortunately, you know what? I need to go put these out on the web. I need to put these into YouTube. And thank you. I will do it. I mean, if there's anything
Wait a minute, wait a minute. If you put them out on YouTube, is that does
they'll
that
be
cause
they'll be unlisted.
and will that cause any like kind of conflicts with I don't know copyrights or
No, they're
eventually?
I own them. They're my copyrights. Right?
Okay. Well, even you drew all of these from scratch?
Yeah. All the animations I'm showing you. This one, the one animation I'm trying to show you, I didn't do that one. But
The rainbows you did?
This guy here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is my stuff. This is all original art.
Wow.
My graphic artist did those rainbows. He did the meditation guy. He did the chakra designs. We designed the colors. The colors matched the rainbow, and he built the octahedron. This is all my stuff.
Wow.
And let's see if I can.
Did I tell you about the 501 that I'm starting? It's like a
No,
stoic
what?
one.
It's a what one? A
Based on,
stoicism one?
yeah. So
Cool.
we'll see. I had to put together a business plan for it, but are you a for-profit company that you're going to be doing this?
I'm turning off Zoom because I want, I'm trying to get some my computer to show these damn graphics. Okay, ask your question again.
What was I about to ask? Oh, is yours a nonprofit?
Well, I'd like it to be a nonprofit, but I don't know. I don't know, Joe. I want people to donate. Okay, here we go. Here's the animation. Look at this guy. He's not very big, but can you kind of see this going in both directions, backwards and forwards at the same time?
I can't see anything right now.
You can't. Oh, because I'm not sharing. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
So you see that guy
Oh,
going?
yeah.
It's
Those.
this way, and it's going that way at the same time. Now, if I look at it one way, these are on top and those are on the bottom. But if I look at another way, these are on top and those are on the bottom. This can either be twisting clockwise or counterclockwise. And by the way, this comes back to a perfect metaphor of truth. Because which way do you see this? Do you see the arrows moving this way, or do you see the background moving that way?
I see the arrows moving this way.
All right. Can you stare at it to where you can see the background?
Oh, I can see the background. I mean, I could.
Moving in front and put the arrows in back. Can you see that? Can you bend it around so you see that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's clear to me.
Okay, so you can either see it with the arrows in front or the arrows in back.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, good. But I don't think you can see it both at the same time.
No, you see, well, it's weird how you look at it. You can kind of, if you segment it out, you can see the arrows going this way. But if you look the other way,
right,
like, then you can kind of see it going that way.
Yeah. When I look at the bottom here, when I look at the bottom, it's easy to see this flowing this way. But I have to look at the bottom. And when I look at the bottom, the little dots go behind. But if I don't look at the bottom, the dots are on top.
Interesting.
Woo. Anyway.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And that came up, so that was wonderful. Let me see if I can stop this share. Let's see if I can get, I'm going to upload these to
YouTube.
The YouTube. And in fact, I think I could probably upload them really, really fast. I think I could upload the Ripple Man to YouTube faster than I can get it to play on Zoom, to tell you the truth. So let me just really quickly just go out to my
see, are we going to still build an artifact?
I don't know. I think that Kelly has thought that if he does the artifact thing, he's going to be with the Wednesday group and not with the weekend group.
Oh, really?
In order to maintain the size of the weekend group, it cannot be quite so esoteric. It's got to be more about business and more about making money and how to make your business grow. Where if we do an artifact, we're talking about
the abstract.
Yeah. Okay, why aren't I able to switch accounts here? Okay, there we go. Add account. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm gonna add an account here. Steve at, oh, it's not Steve, it's stream, shit. Maybe I can't do this. Oh, it's mind at rest. There it is. I hope that's the password. Oh boy, looks like it is. Yep, it is. Okay, so then I come down here to my videos. This is so funny because Zoom just sucks up all the energy. And I want to be able to finish my story about shit. So tell me when you're starting to get pressed for some time. If you start becoming conscious of the time, tell me and I'll wind down.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay for a little bit.
All right, so now I'm going to take this baby and drop it in here. All right, Ripple Man. Good, beautiful. And playlist, let me see. I'm going to put it in that playlist. And one day I'm going to know what all this shit means. Anyone with the video link, only the people who you choose can. I think I have them unlisted, is what I have. So I'm going to load this up here and then we're going to see it manifest. There's the link. And I'm going to be glad to send you that link, Joe.
Cool.
And it's going to take a few minutes to, this is called Ripple Man. I call it Ripple Man. It's the chakra, or it's the energy center, energy centers and human development. And what I want to do is I want to take the graphic that you're about to see and look at that, it uploaded just like that.
Uploaded to YouTube?
Yeah. Although it's only 27 seconds long, I don't think this is the right one. Oh, it is.
And you could send it to me?
I already sent it to you. Okay, this is the wrong link. This is clip number 1. I don't want to send you the clip. I want to send you the real thing. Hang on. Oh, let's see. Clip number 1, full Ripple Man, PNG. I'm looking for.
Barbara.
Wow, have I hidden that thing from myself? These are all
You have
PNG.
so many things, man. It's pretty amazing.
Ripple Man,
This is pretty cool.
Ripple Creek.
This
Steve.
is really
Field,
this is actually really cool.
um, wow.
What'd you do?
I don't know what I did. There we go. Let's see. Is this my email? No. Where's my inbox? Hang on. Let me find Steve Keel. Because I think we sent it back and forth to each other. No, in fact, he would have. Ooh, I wonder if it's on Dropbox.
Wow, you have a bunch. Oh, you have the Bucky calls on here.
Yeah, I
who's
do.
Who's Mike Covell?
Oh my gosh, do you get Mike Covell? Did you click on that link? How are you seeing Mike Covell? Just from clicking on the link I sent you?
No. I clicked on Steve Thomas.
Well, let me, please, I'm going to let you share and you show me how you did that.
Oh, I'm on the other computer here, but
Oh,
let me, I can do that for you though. Hang on. Give me a second.
Mike Covell is a stock trader. He's an expert on pushes and pulls, and he actually trains stockbrokers on Wall Street.
Is this the one that you were learning how to buy like Tesla stock at?
Yes, it's the one I told you about.
I think Elon Musk is about to retire.
Why do you think that?
He's selling his stock, and he even said he said he's feeling burnt out.
Well, I don't blame him for feeling burnt out. Damn.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to keep that up forever.
Yeah. Well,
Stay-
if I think he pretty much has Tesla nailed. If he's,
Well, yeah. I mean,
what do you think?
I think Tesla's nailed. I don't know if SpaceX is.
Yeah. Okay, here I'm on, I want to download. Let's see, how do I do
Did you
that?
see it?
What's that?
Did you see how I got the Mike Cavell?
No, I didn't. Okay, I'm watching you now. How'd you get to Mike Covell?
Let me see. So if I go back again. So I'm here,
Yeah.
and then I go to Steve Thomas.
Wait a minute. Where are you going to Steve Thomas? Where's that? Wiggle
Right.
your.
Right here. See it? Subscriber.
Oh, I see. Steve
I'm sorry,
Thomas,
let me-
subscriber.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then you go here,
Yeah.
and
then
then
all
there
of
are
a sudden you
the,
see them all. So pop on playlists. What I've got to do is I've got to set up categories. And did you pop down on playlists?
yeah, that's the playlist.
There's only 2 playlists showing up.
Stream mindfulness and Bucky calls. Yeah.
There should be Reap with Mike Koval.
Definitely not there. Videos it's under. Maybe
Wow.
channels.
Try channels.
No.
That's what I need to set up as channels. Click on home. Huh. And the only way you see Mike Covell, oh, there's Mike Covell right there. Now that looks like,
This Stacy Acevedo, is it?
yeah, Stacy is part of
She a
Mike
tra-
Covell's operation.
Is she a trader?
Yeah, she's a trader and a coach. She does 1 transaction a week and makes $1,000. She moves 10 grand and makes $1,000 a week.
I know somebody used to do this micro trading,
Yeah.
and he just makes a little bit, gets out. It's almost like an insider trader scheme.
Yeah.
It seemed like.
Yeah. Okay, so here I am over here. Did I say
Oh,
download?
they're teaching you covered calls in this. All right.
That's right.
Do they teach you naked calls?
I think so.
You could lose your ass on those.
How to repair. She talks about repairs. They don't teach any crazy stuff. They teach how to invest safely because she feels like she's dealing with idiots, right?
I'm sure she does. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I'm
look,
an
if
idiot.
you're not doing, if you don't
Yeah.
do this, if you don't do this almost out of college,
Yeah.
learning it late gets a little hard.
Yeah.
Not to mention uncomfortable.
All right,
Actually,
great.
I need to change my savings. Although, what's his name? Says the last place to be right now is cat. You don't want to be in cash right now.
Yeah.
Ray Dalio.
All right.
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see where the market goes.
Yeah.
Are you going to get into it? Oh, there's your
I'm
Roger
thinking about it.
Penrose.
I'm thinking about it. This should be ready to go in just a couple minutes. My meditation Ripple Man.
On YouTube.
Yeah. Give me a few seconds.
I gotta tell you, YouTube is something that is one of the most incredible things.
It really is incredible. The YouTube algorithms are, I think, better than the Facebook algorithms.
I'm sure they are. I think the government runs them both, to tell you the truth.
Wow. I don't see how that's even possible. That's like telling me the government runs Jeff Bezos.
I think that's less likely. Although I think they have, I don't know. I mean, those big cloud contracts. Who knows?
I think, isn't the entire Defense Department on Google servers?
No, they're on Amazon. They're on Microsoft.
I meant Amazon, Bezos.
The intelligence community was. The Defense Department's on I mean, that's the one that's being contested. It's kind of like they're on both of them, really.
Okay, dude. Here is something cool. All right, you ready for this? I forgot. I made some changes to this thing in the beginning. And okay, I'm going to share my screen now. And these are on YouTube. I'll send you this link too. Well, you actually have access to it, evidently, because you have access to my whole catalog there just by clicking on the thing down below. Okay, you ready for this? Here we go. This is the sperm coming together with the egg, and that baby is now born. The heartbeat starts in the embryo, and then the heartbeat starts spreading out energy through the embryo, getting the DNA to go. And the red spot down below is the DNA, and the purple spot up above is the design. The design is the matrix, or the lattice upon which the DNA grows a body. But the whole thing is energy manifesting on this lattice created by this molecular DNA. And as the heartbeat grows, then the DNA starts to grow, and it feeds off of the design up above. But now the energy begins to move up, and we now move into orange. And now we're developing from genetic code, the red, we're now and the heartbeat supplying the genetic code red. Now the genetic code goes up with the epigenetic code, and I start developing behaviors and making choices to actually change my genes. And then as I move up, I start making these choices where I can now start to change my genes. At first, as an infant, I'm all orange. My epigenetic code is going at a way. But as I approach the age of 7, I start making choices about what things I'm going to do. And then I move up to where am I willing to speak the truth of my experience? Now the blue starts up. And if I'm not willing to speak the truth of my experience, I hamper my growth and my enlightenment. But as I continue as the energy moves up from DNA to epigenetic, from genetic code to epigenetic code and personal choice, I move into compassion, and I start speaking the truth of my experience. And that's where I start developing the blue energy. And as I develop my blue energy and speak the truth of my experience, I move up into my indigo energy, which is my vision, my dream. And then as I live my dreams and I get my dreams in alignment with my genetic code, I then manifest my macro me, my destiny, the purple. There we go on the outside.
You have to write this out.
Yeah.
I think if you write this out,
yeah,
and just put it in, and even it can be static. It doesn't have to be in a video.
Yeah.
That it would really.
And I can show each stage of it. And I actually.
How did you come up with this?
This was completely in a vision while I was meditating. This probably came in a series of 3 or 4 visions where I started like contemplating the energies and how they manifested. And then one night I was sitting there and I realized the progressive nature of this energy. And this is what I call the ripple man, because everything's rippling. Notice the energy is going in both directions from the heart. And it comes up from the red to the purple, and it comes down from the purple to the red.
Oh,
Can you see it coming in both directions here?
yes.
Now, I've actually done this out in, oh, I'm so glad I got this stuff. You've inspired me. I got it out there on YouTube, man. That is so
I don't.
cool.
I'm not seeing it there though.
Well, it'll be out there in a minute. Did you refresh?
I did. Hang on.
Refresh. I'm sure it'll be there.
No, not there.
Well, oh, wait a minute. Because I'm going to go out and check my thing here. Relation. Ships. Okay, so I have a PowerPoint presentation. In fact, I presented this with Shrikant. This is part two.
I actually, I do remember this.
This is birth to 9 months, genetic code, 7 to 10 months to 36 months, epigenetic code, or a manifesting of actually the two energies. 3 to 6 years, I start really growing and developing. By the 7th to 9th year, I start making choices. And then the heart beats womb to tomb. And then I start to vocalize and speak the truth of my experience between 9 to 14. Between 15 to 29 years, I start living my vision. And between 30 to 69 years, I start moving into my destiny. Over 70, you better listen to me because I know what's going on.
Wow.
So this is a still of this guy back here. And I've thought about like putting a movie. Let me go back and do the beginning here. And what I really need to do is this should be the sperm chasing the zygote. So I think what needs to happen is I need to have this guy over here. Whoops, where'd he go? This guy over here needs to look more feminine and needs to be stable in one position. And then this guy over here can be moving towards the zygote or towards the ovum. And then when it hits the ovum, bam, then there's a big explosion. So this should be moving across over here like a sperm going back and forth. And then that big explosion should last for a little bit longer, right?
Right.
This guy, right, bam, there.
Wow.
And there should be light like this, and then it should pulse a few times, and then gradually the guy should fade in, right? And when the guy fades in, then what happens is that heart is there. I think what should happen is all the chakras should show up in light colors, and then gradually the heart starts to feed him, and then it makes him darker. So anyway, this all came to me in a vision sitting there one night.
That's incredible.
Joe, it will happen to you, my friend.
I hope so. I'll tell you what, man, I was thinking the way I was sleeping tonight, you know,
Yeah.
I went down there to meditate and I fell asleep for like 2.5 hours. It was,
I think that
it's
what you need.
yeah, I think my body's telling me something. I mean, it really is. I think but here's the thing is that I don't understand how, I don't know what is the result of this fatigue. I mean, some of it is, you know, I'm pushing, but others is that, you know, that there are other people pushing just as hard, like Shrikant, people like that.
Yeah, but listen, Shrikant thinks he knows something. So let's go ahead and continue the recording. This graphic is really wonderful because it shows, it's an optical illusion that shows how I can see the energy going in either direction. If I look down at the base, I see the yellow things moving out, which indicates that all these lines are moving out, which puts all the dotted lines in the background.
You can see them both at the same time, really.
You can or can't?
Can.
Did you say can?
Yes.
I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge that because what you're seeing is you're seeing these things. You're actually, I think I'm actually seeing things in one direction, and I have to stop and look at it on purpose and see it go in the other direction. And in fact, I can't even see it go in the other direction. Oh, there it is. Now it just switched over to me.
I see. Okay. All
I
right.
I cannot see it go in both directions at the same time. This comes back to the observance of
I can
truth
only see it for for a split second.
for a split second. Yeah, this is the idea of, okay, so holding up a mirror and then holding up a pen, can you see yourself in the mirror? Yes. Can you see yourself in the mirror holding the pen? Yes. Can you see the pen in the mirror? Yes. Now, can you see yourself seeing the pen in the mirror? What? How do I see myself seeing the pen in the mirror? That's all about awareness.
Right.
So anyway, so that picture. Now coming back then, we were talking about these pictures, and I went ahead and, with your being here with me, I grabbed several octahedra, several single tetrahedron with the octahedron inside of it, trying to show how this puppy would lay down in here somewhere. And of course, this is at a weird angle, and I have it at a weird angle to be like this guy.
Right.
But anyway, there's an octahedron here. There's also an octahedron in the cube, and there's also an octahedron in the double tetrahedron. But the idea is that when I see energy, the energy manifests as this outward spray, and it's going out and in at the same time, just like that torus. Now, my brain doesn't see in the center there. There's nothing in there.
Right.
So my brain, I have to put a dot in there to say, okay, that is the source of this energy. And then we went into a discussion of precession, because all these vectors are moving precessionally, which means they're moving in 6 degrees of freedom at the same time. Hold what that means. Now I see the dot without the radiation. This is the way most people see dots. If I put numbers across the bottom here, I would say, come back, baby. I would say, here's picture A, and then picture B, and then picture C, and then, oops, there we go. Now I come over here and I grab my center things, and I put this guy here, and then I put this guy here, and then I put this guy here. Most people see the energy as figure C, but in actuality, energy is figure A. But figure A is multidimensional. Most people can't see that. We want to see energy in a 2-dimensional plane. And then if we stretch, we can imagine a 3-dimensional plane by coming back out and grabbing this freaking torus right here. And we shove the torus in. Because in actuality, I don't think it's going to move. I think I've got to do it this way. I'll try to put it down here, but it won't put down here. I don't know what it wants to do. There we go. Okay, and I'm going to try to put this down here, but it won't. It'll probably go back up there. Yep, it did. In actuality, this dot we're seeing right here is that torus right there. Most people do not want to see, they don't want to see a torus. They want to see a dot. And that dot actually represents that vertex, that edge of energy that's the horizontal axis on that inside the torus. Right? So I'm going to go up here and grab, and by the way, I've never hit these concepts before, so explaining this to you is really doing great for me in terms of finding new words.
Cool.
And so
it's hard to explain.
Yeah, well, yeah, in fact, and so we can put an axis down through here. Now, that axis is the 1st degree of freedom. That axis is the 1st degree of freedom.
Right.
And now if I want to, I can now, that becomes figure D. And I should probably fatten it up, but I'm going to do it on somebody else's time, not on yours. And we'll put the other thing right there. So what I should be doing is I should be seeing figure D, but I can't see figure D. This is probably D is better than A, and D is probably better than B. So probably what I should do is somehow mix these up, but there you got it. There's A, B, and C, and D. Now, if I go back to the 6 degrees of freedom, I come back into murmuration, because now when I see this symbol D, I then can start to see murmuration, which is the 6 degrees of freedom shown as this, which is kind of like this symbol of 7 directions. Wow, Zoom just slows every freaking
It really
thing.
does. Zoom is really, I'm starting to think Zoom's not going to make it, to be quite honest.
Well, I think boy, have they upgraded their engine, to tell you the truth. I'm amazed.
They had a huge amount of cash influx, but they've got big market issues, and they've got big people that are coming after them.
Yeah, that's true.
They got Microsoft that's going to really just come at them from every angle, and then they've got
And
Facebook.
Google's coming after them. Google now. Google, every time you set a calendar, it says meet with Google. Right. I mean, gradually people have got to wear down, and
and Google, and I find Google to be very good, to be quite honest.
You've done the Google Meetup thing, the Google video?
I have not done one. I've not led one with Google, but I'll tell you, Zoom, I mean, but the ones I've been on,
yeah,
are excellent.
Okay, so
I haven't done any screen sharing with that.
Oh, I got this right one. Yeah, this is the newest one of these. And so as I look at this drawing right here, and I see this, I began to see the beginning of this murmuration concept. So I'm just gonna put this crap. By the way, I found a little thing for kids on murmuration, and it basically says, here we go. Scientists believe murmurations are similar to other systems. I thought of you because you're big on systems, such as crystals forming, thanks to you. Avalanches, metals becoming magnetized, liquids turning into gases. These systems are on the edge, which means they're ready to completely transformed in an instant. So, and that edge is the edge of the tetrahedron. It's the same energy on the edge of the tetrahedron.
Right.
And so if we bring this concept of murmuration down, and so I'm going to shove this puppy in here. I'm going to put it on top, in front, and then I'm going to shrink it. And so then it's easy to see. I think it'll be easy to see. I hope it'll be easy to see how I can go from here and the torus, that vertical axis, and see that as the 1st degree of freedom, and see then these as the 6 degrees of freedom. There's your vertical axis. And somehow I got to make a transition from character D to character E down here. Does that make sense to you?
That makes sense.
All right. Oh shit, where'd my charger go? Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose my energy here. I need to get my plug in. So on the basis that I might lose you, I'm going to come join now on the telephone.
Are you going to be able to show me the graphic? Or?
I don't know. I'm going to go here. Well, take over. I'm sorry. Okay, so now what's going on? I have to do this, and then I could do this. All right, good. So that should have got rid of all the things. And then I'm gonna go find my cord. So there's the 6 degrees of freedom.
Now look, each one of those, and I can end this quickly because now we're doing the review of what we talked about at the beginning. Each one
Right.
of those degrees of freedom are 90 degrees from the other freedom. That's how I construct a 3D universe, right?
Right.
You with me?
Yes.
I create the axis, first plane, then I go second plane at
And then-
90 degrees, third
Yes.
plane at 90 degrees. All right, great. And then I want the fourth plane at 90 degrees to go to four-dimensional reality.
Right.
But when I go into a four-dimensional reality, the only way I can see that, my brain can't conceive it, I can only see the shadow of a four-dimensional reality by virtue of the tesseract. And I would show you a tesseract right now, but you know what the tesseract is. And then I would turn on the tesseract video animation that shows it turning around itself. I'd show you the simple one. Then I'd show you the complicated one where they actually rotate it on all four axes simultaneously. It looks like it's amazing what it looks like. Okay.
Wow. Yeah.
And then let me see here. Then I would show you the tesseract. Then I would say, just as the human brain cannot see four dimensions, and we can only see the shadows of those dimensions in a tesseract, another way to manifest a four-dimensional reality is to show a tetrahedron. Because when I put in a fourth plane at 90 degrees to all the other planes, in order to conceptualize it on a 3D plane, I've got to reduce the angle from 90 to 60. And when I reduce the angle of those the vortices crossing from 90 degrees to 60 degrees, I can now show four faces side by side. And the four faces become the tetrahedron. And there's four faces and four dots, or four dimensions of reality. Do you get it?
Yeah. No, I'm following you.
Wow. I mean, you're the first person I've tried to explain it to. So I'm very
But it's
excited about
actually I mean, the image helps out a great deal.
What image?
This one, the murmuration one, as you're
I
talking.
see. Yeah, the murmuration one does make a lot of sense because, and I tell you, the murmuration thing, Kelly hasn't dealt with it, but Manu surrenders that locally there's a up and down, and universally there is no up and down. In fact, when I saw that in Synergetics the other day, Bucky actually says universally in the universe, there is no up and down. There's only
How-
out.
I still don't understand how he wrote that book.
I don't understand it either. I don't understand it either. So I'm going to leave this meeting.
All right, so now I'm back here. Okay, so now I go there and then I show the tesseract and then I show the tetrahedron up here. I'm not showing the faces here. I'm showing the edges where it transforms. Remember, Manu said the other night, when the edges come together, things can fold, right?
Yes.
And do you see how a tetrahedron could be a manifestation of a four-dimensional reality?
Yes.
Because it has four faces.
Yes.
Because it has four dots.
Right. Yes.
And because it's intersected by four lines.
That's the 90 degrees that yeah.
Actually, by 6 lines. It's intersected by 6 lines. 6 edges, 6 degrees of freedom. And those 6 degrees of freedom in 4D manifest like this, and in 3D, they manifest like murmuration. Okay,
all
I'm
right.
complete. That was my vision.
Now.
So my vision is
go
that when
back.
these dots start to form, these are all
Right.
90-degree angles.
Right.
And so up here, we're showing 60 degrees because that's how it manifests in, that's how four-dimensional reality manifests in three-dimensional plane. And down here, all these angles become 60 degrees. I'm sorry, down here, all the 60-degree angles become 90 degrees. Wow. I'm not going to be able to get in there. I got to I
Now
gotta
you
take
gotta
this
cut, you
down.
gotta, yeah.
Okay, I don't want to bust your balls anymore. We did good. Let me see, that is this right here. Did I? Yeah, it's not connected. That is so weird.
I think the
Send it
image
to
is on
back.
top
Let's see
of
what
it,
else I got
like,
up here. Okay, there we go.
yeah,
So now these become 90 degrees.
90.
I hope you get it. I hope you see what I'm talking about.
I do see what you're talking about, believe it or not. I'm able to follow because how you get the murmuration.
Okay. So they are all 90 degrees, but they manifest as 60 degrees in a three-dimensional plane. Okay, I'm complete. I'm repeating myself now. And this shows each vector connecting with three other vectors. And these would all be out at 90 degrees from each other, except that they're also connected to each other. And as soon as they're connected to each other, they manifest in 4 dimensions. And a tetrahedron is a three-dimensional metaphor of a 4-dimensional reality, because there are 4 dots here in relationship with each other. And the relationships are the same. A has the same relations with B, D, and C as B has with A, B, and C, and which D has with C, B, and A, and which C has with A, B, and D. This C goes with that thing, and so this one I have to move it down. There we go. Oh, well. I'm done. You've been so patient.
No, thank you.
I'm open for, I'm not gonna stop the recording till I get your comments and feedback.
No, I mean, I like the way you
So
set
how
it
you
up.
feeling? What's your takeaway?
My takeaway is that how we got from
Oh, wait a minute. I'm not able to hear you because you might have been talking before.
I
but
was.
I didn't have my speakers on. So go ahead.
No. So my takeaway is that, essentially, I like how you laid out those 4 dimensions with 90 degrees, and I see how each relationship happens with 90 degrees with each dot and the interactions that they have.
Right.
And then I also, now I can see that how that transforms into murmuration.
Yes.
And then how that center dot relates to the other 6 directions that we were talking about. And then so that's what's clear to me, is that summary of how you're going from 90, the 90 to the 90-degree relationships between the dots, to 4 dimensions, to murmuration.
Okay.
Like that process is very clear.
Cool.
Is very clear. So if I'm looking at that, what you wrote there,
yeah,
that's perfect. Yeah.
And so let me just recap what you just said, which gives me another little epiphany and a way to explain it. When I explain murmuration, I'm showing 1 dot in 6 degrees of freedom.
Right.
And each degree of freedom is an edge.
Right.
And
right.
the
I forgot
edge
to mention that.
manifests as an up and a down and a backwards and a forwards and a left and a right.
Right.
But murmuration only shows how the being in the 7th direction, the being in the center, relates to the others around it.
Right.
The truth is, the others around it are having the same relationship with the others around it.
Right.
And so when I take murmuration and stack murmuration on top of murmuration, I actually have a 4-dimensional awareness. Yes.
Oh.
And anytime I look at it in 3D, I've got to say, well, this bird is murmurating with that bird, which is murmurating that bird. But in actuality, it's a tetrahedron.
Wow.
It's multiple tetrahedrons.
Multiple tetrahedrons, which is actually goes back to what we were talking about with the DNA and extracting extracting interest. Like if I were to extract a tetrahedron from multiple tetrahedrons, that you could start to predict things within that system.
Yeah,
that's within that system, but you're not. And then if you combined all of them, you could even do some predictions.
You could do some predictions, but then remembering the principle of complexity, at some point, there is no algorithm to predict the outcome of the systems. And that is synergetics, is that the whole is always greater than the sum
The
of the
sum of
parts.
its parts,
And that's always unknown.
always unknown.
You can't predict it
Wow.
because it's synergetic. And because there is no algorithm that can predict truth, and there is no algorithm that can predict the outcome of complexity.
Wow.
And that's our lives, and we live in that. And I'm certain, Joe, that if we were able to visit our world from a 4-dimensional reality, it'd all be so simple. We'd see it so
would be.
clearly. We'd see all the tetrahedron together, and it would look like a bunch of murmurations because it all looked 90 degrees to us. But we can't conceive that unless we trick our brain with a tesseract, or we trick our brain with some other gimmick. Wow. All right.
That's a lot, man. That's a lot.
I'm going to turn off the recorder now.
Okay.
And I'm going to just one more time, let's talk about how we're feeling. And I'm going to